That is Keira Knightley in Love Actually. The 2003 movie quickly became a holiday classic. But this Thanksgiving weekend, you'll see her in a very different role as a World War II codebreaker in the Imitation Game. And it's the story of British math genius Alan Turing and the team who helped crack a code and win the war.
To tell you the truth, I'd sort of said yes to this project without even knowing what the role was, because I wanted to be a part of this kind of trying to get the name of Alan Turing out there. When I read the role, I was so pleased.
Everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Good. Let me try, and we'll know for sure.
Keira Knightley's latest movie, The Imitation Game, tells the real-life story of British mathematician Alan Turing, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. During World War II, Turing's team of codebreakers cracked the uncrackable, Germany's Enigma machine. This feat shortened the war by an estimated 2 years, saving thousands of lives.
You finished?
Yes.
Knightley plays Joan Clark, a fellow mathematician recruited by Turing for the covert operation.
5 minutes and 34 seconds.
You said to do it in under 6.
She was a cryptanalyst.
She was.
An incredibly important role.
Yes. I don't know what that means. I'd love to say that I did. I did a lot of research into all of this. I tried to read about the maths. I tried to understand the machine. I tried to understand all of it, and I went, I'm going to have to act this role.
Alan Turing has a theory.
He has many.
She's such a genius, and yet in a lot of the movie, she almost has to play dumb, right?
Yeah. She says in one part of the film, there's a line where she says, you know, I'm a woman in a man's world.
And I don't have the luxury of being an arse.
For her, breaking military code proves easier than breaking into an all-boys club. In order to join Turing, they must pretend she's a secretary.
And I think that was very true. You know, I think there was, as much as she was trying to break that glass ceiling, she realized that by being a bull in a china shop, it wasn't going to get her what she wanted. But by being somebody who people like to be with, she managed to slowly get to the places that she wanted to be.
Still true today?
Yeah.
In what way?
Isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think that you know that as soon as you read newspaper articles about women and they're described as being pushy, or they're described as being divas, or they're described as being
bossy.
Bossy, exactly. And you think they're not words that would ever be used to describe a man, and they certainly wouldn't be used negatively to describe a man.
I understand you got to screen this movie out in Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Is it true that you said something to a top Google executive, you need to hire more women?
Yeah. We went, how many women have you got? And he said, I don't know, 20 to 30%. And we were like, that's not okay. And he was like, no, we are working on it. I said, are you working hard on it? He said, yeah, we're working on it.
That's important.
It is, I think so.
Yeah.
They always say, you know, they're very macho fields. And you think, yes, if there are only 20 or 30% women, of course they're very macho fields. Mm-hmm. You have 80% men.
You do know Will taught me how to handle a sword.
Chiding an audience of CEOs is one perk of being among the highest paid actresses in Hollywood, where Knightley reigns supreme, corset in tow.
I have heard a rumor.
Yes?
Usually the star, she says her role in the Imitation Game is intentionally not a lead.
I almost wanted to see more of Joan Clark's genius in action in the movie.
Yes. I think the thing about all of these characters is this is very much a film about Alan Turing. You know, everybody else, all of the characters are supporting. The most difficult thing was sort of once you did start doing the research into the people of going, oh, can't we put that in, and can't we put that in, and can't we put that in? And of course, in 2.5 hours in one movie, of course you can't. You have to be very selective. And given who it was about, it had to completely focus on Alan's story.
Why are you helping me?
Sometimes it's the very people who no one imagines anything of who do the things that no one can imagine.
The early reviews, the movie isn't even out yet, that this is a frontrunner for the Oscars.
Yeah, who knows? I think when you make films, you just try and hope that the audiences will enjoy them. And I think the response to this so far has been completely amazing. So if that can continue, then how wonderful. And if it gets awards, how wonderful. And if not, I think we're still incredibly proud of it.
Hey, that was a great piece, and it's a fabulous story of Alan Turing and everybody who's come to realize this man who contributed so much to defeating the Nazis and then was persecuted and prosecuted because he was gay.
Right. And
So
I
much
like
so that
her
he
so
committed
much.
suicide.
Yeah.
And then the Queen had to come along, like in the last several years, to.
I now want to
So you
see
got
the
the
movie.
great
You guys have both
recognition.
seen it. I
Yeah.
now want to see the movie.
It's a fabulous movie because not only is it well acted and everything, but the story is great
Exactly.
to sort of relearn about Alan Turing and
And that
everything.
there was this woman who was, as brilliant as
Yes, he was.
he
yeah.
was.
We are going to have more of our conversation with Keira Knightley at CBSThisMorning.com, including how Love Actually remains so popular 11 years later. I'm taking the piss out of Charlie. You're watching CBS This Morning.